Hi, everyone. So glad to see you again. As you can see, Tim and I are together virtually.
Hello.
I'm standing here in St. Peter's Parish, and Tim is not here with me. uh, we are still very much in the serious stages of our most recent COVID outbreak, but we still wanted to come to you today because today is a really important feast day in our church. This is Monday, February 22nd, 2021, and today is the Feast of the Chair of St. Peter. So we can probably make the connection right away. St. Peter, he's the patron saint of our church. But Tim, I kind of think it begs the question though, who actually is Peter?
So, St. Peter, first off, he was born Simon, if we remember that from the gospel. He was born Simon and he was a fisherman. He fished for a living until he encountered Christ. It reminds us of, remember the video that we did about Saul/Paul, right? Saul with an S became Saul with a P because he encountered Christ and then Christ gave him a new name. It's a lot like our own confirmation, right? Where we get to take on that new name for ourselves. So Simon was Simon the fisherman, and then he encountered Christ and became Peter the fisher of men, right? Christ gave him that great calling to go forth and become the fisher of men. And essentially, later on, Jesus wound up giving him the keys to the kingdom and essentially made Peter the first pope for us, really.
How many popes have we had since Peter?
We have had, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to count it. We've had 266 popes, which Pope Francis, the current pope, is number 266.
So you're telling me that there's only 265 people that separates me from Jesus?
Yeah.
Tim, I'm standing here looking out over the church. That's not even 50% of what St. Peter's can hold. That's insane. But that's a magnificent, beautiful thing to think about too, that there's a couple hundred people that keep us separated. So what does that mean then? What does that mean then for our priests, for Father Wayne? How far away from the Pope is he?
Well, what I like to think about, and this is something that I find really exciting, is just thinking about, we have this idea called apostolic succession. And what that means is just that Jesus gave very specific rights to St. Peter in order to ordain and to pass down the faith. And so when we think about it, it's like Father Wayne, who's our pastor, was ordained by a bishop, who was ordained by a bishop, who was ordained by a bishop, and then that goes all the way back to Peter. That goes all the way back to St. Peter essentially being called to that way of life by Jesus himself. And so I just think that reminds me of like how not far removed we are from the gospel.
We are so very closely connected to it. And that's also, I think, one of the great things about our Catholic faith, that perhaps some of our other brothers and sisters in faith, they don't share that same beautiful moment with us in that same way. So I guess then, why are we celebrating the Feast of the Chair of St. Peter now, some 266 people later, and 2,000 years later? That's what makes this celebration even more important, is because it very much does remind us how closely connected we are to the gospel. And I like your point about the fact that Peter was a fisherman and became a fisher of men, because I think, isn't that what we're supposed to do too? We're supposed to go out and bring people, bring Christ to people, give them an opportunity to encounter Christ, and so that they can be converted and changed, like Saul was and became Paul, like Simon was and became Peter. And we get to kind of take on that new identity today too, through this particular feast day, a feast day which is even more special in our church here at St. Peter's Parish. So we would invite all of you to join us live at 10 a.m. for Mass right here, Father Wayne will be celebrating Mass. The same Father Wayne who, as Tim said, was ordained by a bishop, ordained by a bishop, ordained by a bishop, all the way back to the days of Peter and Christ. And if it's after 10 o'clock when you're joining us on the video, please go to our website, saintpp.com, and click on Watch Today's Mass to celebrate with us here. We wish you all the very, very best. Tim, I hope you're staying safe at home, and I can't wait till we can do this again together in the church. But wash your hands, stay safe, stay home, and God bless.